Oh, oh, yes. Oh, 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 yes. Oh, oh, yes.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the WWE NXT live post show. That's right. We're going to go live and talk about WWE NXT. Man, what a great episode. Obviously, tonight was Roadblock. Hold on. Hopefully, you guys could hear me. Hopefully, the quality's good. Are we having any issues? I don't know. I'm trying a vertical stream, and I don't know if I'm going to regret that or not. I figured we would try a vertical stream just because vertical streams are a little bit different on YouTube, but also this isn't going to be a long live stream, unfortunately. So that's why I'm doing a test. I don't plan on doing a full length live stream. I just want to talk for a little bit quickly about NXT tonight. Personally speaking, guys, I'm enjoying it, and obviously NXT is just one of my favorite shows, man. Like it's a consistently great show. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Is the stream working? Because it shows that I'm getting an error right now, and that is really strange. Let me see something. I don't know if you guys are having an issue with the stream. I'm trying to look at the comments, but it looks like it's having an issue. Okay, it looks like we're good. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, fellas and ladies. Yeah, so NXT tonight was really fun. Obviously, there were some returns, some really shocking things that happened I would have never expected. Obviously, I want to talk about the things that I enjoyed. Um, Interestingly enough, I think one of the cool things about NXT lately is that every week there seems to be some sort of elements of surprise, even when you don't expect it. And obviously, that's what a surprise is. But today, for example, William Regal returned, and he actually had a segment with the No Quarter Catch Club or Catch Crew. So, like, that was really cool in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I like seeing that, and I like being able to watch uh, William Regal and Charlie Dempsey. That's really dope in my opinion. Especially because Charlie Dempsey is a heel, William Regal is a baby face, and I don't know. Kind of what they're doing there. Obviously long term there could be a lot of stuff. We obviously saw Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin retain the tag titles, which is super interesting because now Braun Breaker is actually on SmackDown. So it's just kind of like one of those things with like when people are on SmackDown, they're on the main roster, but they're still holding a title in NXT. Like obviously Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin will have to drop it. There's going to be like a tag tournament type of thing that they're doing. So that'll be really dope. But there was a lot of good things, a lot of things that I liked from NXT, more specifically to the main event, right? Trick Williams returned. Melo is screwed. And the beauty of that is the fact that we're going to see firsthand Tony DAngelo finally get a world championship championship opportunity against Ilia Dragunov. Yeah. Now, let me tell you guys something. My hair is all messed up now because of this headset, but nonetheless, I'll tell you guys off the rip. In my humble opinion, I think Tony DAngelo will be the one to dethrone Ilia Dragunov. I think I think they want Ilia Dragunov part of the main roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do think they want that. What the hell is happening with my hair? This is crazy. Um, yeah, no. So I think the way that I'm looking at it is that Ilia Dragunov will probably drop the belt to Tony DAngelo as stand and deliver. I think Dragunov is going to go up to the main roster. Obviously, I think Bash at Berlin makes the most sense for Ilia Dragunov to be working as part of the main roster. Um, so yeah, to me, like, this is a no-brainer, right? You have Tony DAngelo beat Carmelo Hayes. It's logical because Trick Williams came and screwed Carmelo. I liked it. It's predictable, of course, 100%, but it works out in the favor of everybody involved. And the cool thing with that too, by the way, Tony DAngelo is somebody who, since NXT 2.0, I mean, all he has done is get better and like improve. And that's important, man. That's important. A lot of people may have written off NXT, but Tony DAngelo came in, got the character work. Now Lucas Crucifino, another guy from NXT's Performance Center, he's in the group now. So the family's being built, and it's obviously there's a reason why they're building this faction the way they are. I think they are 100% preparing for Tony DAngelo and the family to run NXT. Cool. Ilia Dragunov goes to the main roster. Tony DAngelo wins the belt. And on top of that, it works. He's a great baby face. He gets the crowd reactions. I really can't see why somebody would not want to. I can't see why somebody would not want that, right? So that's really important. It's actually funny because when I watch NXT, it's like there's just so much stuff happening, and it's actually a really well-paced show. The fact that NXT is able to get so many women involved and so many people on the show at once, it's just like a fantastic achievement. A lot of people need to give credit where it's due. Shawn Michaels and everybody there, man, they have really done a great job. They have really done a great job with that. Just the pace of the show, it's very, very good. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want guaranteed to be read, feel free to drop a super chat or become a member. You guys don't have to, but it guarantees that your questions and comments get read. And then, of course, they help support the channel as well. So if you guys want to, you could. If you don't want to, no problem. Not a big deal. I did see Mike is mentioning it in the chat. He says Thea is a story within a story within a story within a story. Let's just throw that comment down here. This is actually true. And I love this, by the way. Like, I think Thea Hail is somebody who is so interesting to me because her character constantly is evolving, but she's got this crush, on this I forget his name, man. But she's got the crush on this dude, and I forget his name because he's a newcomer, but she has a crush on him. He's in Chase U, and then she obviously, she's got the stuff with Miles. Is it Mason Miles or Miles Mason or something? I forget. Mike, you know what I'm saying? I forgot. I swear to God, I honestly, genuinely forgot, unfortunately. But Riley Osborne, that's what it was. Miles, or the Miles guy or whatever, is in No Catch Crew, whatever, No Quarter Combat, Orlando Combat Club. Guys, my brain is scrambled because literally I have been super busy and just my brain is not functioning right. But yeah, Riley Osborne, Thea Hail, that's become a little bit of a side quest. And, obviously Chase University, and you have Chase University, and you have, JC Jane involved. And then you just have so much stuff going on right now with NXT. But listen, like, that's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic thing to talk about. Like, I don't think people truly understand how awesome that is when you, like, look at AEW, look at Raw, SmackDown. Sometimes there's not a lot going on in wrestling. And with NXT, it's like there's a lot going on. So I appreciate that. I love the Thea Hail stuff. When they added JC Jane and Thea Hail together, I thought that was a really interesting idea. I personally loved JC Jane and Gigi Dolan as part of Toxic Attraction. And I was hoping that maybe one day they would kind of get back to that. That doesn't seem very likely. However, I would say one thing. One thing I would say is that, like, for JC Jane and Gigi Dolan, like, they could have some big careers as single stars. Keep in mind, even NXT was able to sneak in a backstage segment with Ava, Gigi, and on top of that, they had Ariana Grace. And next week, I believe it's going to be next week, they'll have a match. Basically, if Gigi Dolan beats Ariana Grace, cool. But if she loses, Ariana Grace is going to pretty Gigi Dolan up. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain this. She is going to treat her. She's going to teach her how to be a true lady. I don't know what the hell they're doing there, but just a lot of cool small stories and stuff like that. And to me, I think that's just really dope. NXT's playful. There's a lot of experimentation. Yeah, like, I like the idea that you can experiment with stuff and tell different stories and whatever it may be. Not everything is going to hit, of course, but as long as you're consistent, you'll do some great stuff. King's Wolves says, "Are you playing WWE 2K24?" No, I don't have the game yet. I definitely want to play WWE 2K24. I've definitely been meaning to play WWE 2K24, but I have not played WWE 2K24. When I get WWE 2K24, whenever that time comes, if I get it, I will definitely be live, and it will be fun because we will definitely do community stuff together, for sure, 100%. Hagen Lamberth just dropped a $5 super chat. Do you think we get a lengthy reign from Tony D post Stand and Deliver? NXT was really good. Looking forward to the chairman Sean Spears run in NXT. I'm so glad you brought up Sean Spears because I'll talk about that in a moment. But to answer your question about Tony DAngelo, I think Tony DAngelo beats Ilia Dragunov. Ilia moves up to the main roster. Tony DAngelo and the family is going to run NXT. It's not going to be this really long storyline, but I think they want the family to be a major part of NXT. And there's going to be a lot of great video packages and stuff like that involved. But also at the same time, too, I think Tony D just needs to hold the belt for a little bit. The cool thing is, if you want somebody to beat Tony DAngelo, there is somebody with history, and that person is Dijak. So, in my opinion, Dijak would be the one to take the belt off Tony DAngelo. That's just kind of how I would book it long term. But a lot of cool stuff in my opinion, right there. And then obviously in regards to Sean Spears, yeah, Sean Spears, I love it. I love Sean Spears being in NXT, keeping his name. I love the idea of Sean Spears. His entrance is pretty much the same, right? I don't know what to expect from Sean Spears in NXT, but this guy is great. And if you ever watch my NXT, AEW, SmackDown, Raw reviews, then people know, like, I'm pretty high on Sean Spears, so I'm excited about this. Most importantly, I think for NXT, it's really cool because, like, Sean Spears, Ridge Holland are working together. Yeah, maybe some people will like it, some people won't. But I think, like, that right there is really cool. And then you have, obviously, like, you have your veterans on the show, and then you got stuff with, like, Joe Gacy and Dijak, and then you have stuff with Ilia and now obviously Tony D. But then you also have Melo and Trick, and dude, there's like 10 different stories. Blair Davenport and Fallon Henley had something really dope. And then guess what happens? Sol Ruka is back. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know this, but if you watch NXT, Sol Ruka was basically sidelined due to Blair Davenport. So, like, the fact that there's this many stories in NXT is absolutely incredible. There is so many things happening in NXT. And then you get a banger asylum match between Joe Gacy and and Dijak, right? So like you're gonna get good wrestling, you're gonna get the good stories, but you're getting a lot of everything. There is so much volume in NXT, it creates so much depth. I don't care what podcasters out there exist that will say this. There's a lot of people who won't even spend their time talking about NXT because it doesn't bring them views. And they look down on NXT as if NXT is a poor product. But I can actually seriously make a serious argument that in terms of storytelling, you know, and actually having people being utilized, talent utilization, NXT's ratio is incredibly high. Their percentage is incredibly high. They are probably the most successful show in terms of getting most of their roster utilized. And on top of that, you have the rookies, you have the vets, you have your women and your men. You have like they literally do everything right in regards to that. I cannot find a flaw there. And yeah, I think it's great. Do I think there's going to be a lengthy reign from Tony D? No, but I think he's going to run things for a while until Dijak takes the belt. Hagen, thank you so much for the super chat. Darth Bane dropping $1.99. Would you have Ilia join Imperium to fight Judgment Day? You know, this is an interesting question. The question is, should Ilia Dragunov join Imperium to fight Judgment Day? No, I don't think so. I think Ilia Dragunov needs to be a solo act on the main roster. I think Ilia Dragunov would be a lot better as a solo act in the main roster. And I also think that WrestleMania 41 would be the perfect place for Gunther versus Ilia Dragunov. Now, if you watched NXT UK, you know exactly why. Darth Bane, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to support the show, it guarantees that your questions and comments get read. Also, don't forget you could become a member. Definitely appreciated. With that being said, lots of great follow-ups. Hagen did drop a follow-up. He says NXT is really great, has really great storytelling. It's been great for the past 4 years, excluding 2.0. I'm gonna be honest with you, the 2.0, this is 2.0. It's just different presentation. This is like black and gold and 2.0 mixed together. This is actually more reminiscent of 2012, 2014, 2015 NXT. So in my opinion, I think like this is the cool stuff. This is the cool stuff for me. Like it's a blend of everything. It's a blend of every NXT version that I liked. And I appreciate that personally, just because I think it's like best of all worlds, you know? A lot of people in the IWC, they may not realize it, but if they watched NXT, they'd be like, holy shit, it's exactly what they're looking for. And that's beautiful. How great was the historical moment when William Regal shared the ring with Charlie Dempsey, father-son history? Yeah, I mean, this was cool, man. This is cool. William Regal being on TV with Charlie Dempsey makes me happy. Charlie Dempsey finding his confidence. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I think one of the cool things as well is that NXT, like William Regal confronting Charlie Dempsey, like I don't know when, and like I didn't expect it, right? Like I didn't expect that to happen so soon. Um, it's going to be great when they go in with this. Like it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. And again, it's just another story. Another story. Is there such thing as a problem with too many stories in NXT? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Too many stories. It's a great problem for NXT to have, honestly. It really is. Ango, I want to thank you for the news coverage. Been watching your channel since the Cody news was coming out about him jumping ship. And I appreciate you for subscribing and being a follower and joining and super chatting and becoming a supporter and everything. It's appreciated, man. You know, one thing, a lot of people may not know this, but I've been back in the gym lately. And sometimes I feel a little guilty that like me being back in the gym, or like I've been playing basketball a lot more, or soccer or whatever, football, whatever you call it, you know, like I've been very busy with that. I've been cooking my meals again and just like really getting back in shape. And sometimes I feel a little guilty because maybe I miss a live stream. Like I missed a stream yesterday, you know, or maybe I don't make 2 videos a day. Maybe it only limits me to 1 or whatever it may be, or maybe not as many shorts or whatever the issue is. But I swear, guys, like I sometimes feel guilty about that. And I'm just glad to see that you guys been showing love and, supporting me regardless. Because sometimes it could be kind of hard to balance that type of stuff. You want to have a little bit of work-life balance or whatever. But I love this stuff, man. I love this YouTube stuff. I love streaming. And I want to start streaming more during the day than at night, just in general, because I know at nighttime I feel bad too for myself, really, and then for you guys, because it's like, if you're on Eastern time, sometimes these streams don't end until 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, so I definitely feel like daily streams during the day would be better. But then, of course, people got work and stuff like that. So I don't know. One thing I am doing, though, I will tell you guys, I've added this as a perk for the memberships. So if you become a member on the channel, I believe it's the main event tier. I'll double check for you guys. I'm pretty sure it's on the main event tier. But I'm going to be doing weekly content, which is best of the week, essentially. What's really cool about that perk, though, is that it's going to be specifically for you. Early content, you'll get it 24 or 48 hours before. And it's going to be like it's going to be a lengthy podcast type of thing, but it's going to be where I talk about the good, like my top moments of WWE per week or whatever. A lot of cool stuff, obviously, in the works. But I appreciate you guys' support. And Hagen, I appreciate you for sticking with me that long. Definitely appreciate it. How do you join the memberships? There's actually a link. I think is it this? Let me see. I could post the link. My bad. It should be in the description, but I don't know how it is because we are doing this on that is my apologies. Yeah, because okay, that's one thing I don't consider on here is that vertical streams. I agree, by the way, with this. Vertical streams, I don't think you could read the description. So I just posted the link in the chat. If you guys want to learn more about memberships. I want to really take the membership stuff more seriously as well. So definitely a lot more. Where is Billy? Great question. Guys, Billy couldn't make it tonight. You guys got to get used to the idea that maybe, he's not going to be able to be on the channel, right? But he's not going to be here tonight. I don't know when the next time he'll be, but when he is, he is. And if not, no big deal. On the nights that he's not here, we should do call-ins. That's the way I look at it. $4.99 from Dan Moser. Ingo, do you think that WWE or NXT specifically can help out TNA since Scott D'Amore was let go to help the talent? No, I don't. I think one of the big things that people need to understand, truthfully, is I think people need to understand that TNA is in its own world. They're in their own world. And without Scott D'Amore, I hope it works out for them. I really do. I think with them, I think TNA has to have backing with a budget. That's the way I look at it. They got to have the budget. And Scott D'Amore obviously couldn't change that with TNA and Anthem. So WWE or NXT can't help out TNA. I don't think it. I mean, I think they needed Scott D'Amore because he was the one bridging the gap. They just signed Alexander Hammerstone, which is great. They got TNA Sacrifice this week, which is great. But right now, a lot of what they're doing is what Impact Wrestling was, just with the TNA name. And I don't agree with that necessarily. So it's unfortunate, but I don't think they need WWE or NXT or AEW. I think what they need to do is just keep putting out good content. And that's it. That's it. Dan, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Tay the Savior has become a YouTube member. And it looks like Tay the Savior has become a main eventer. So we appreciate that. Shout out to Tay the Savior. Yeah, main eventer. That's really dope. So pay attention. Tay, if you don't have the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, join Discord. I could bring you in as a VIP member as well. That's another thing I really, really want to focus on is like the VIP stuff in Discord. It's just not always It could be a lot better. So for sure, I want to take that a little bit. I got to figure out a way to get YouTube and Discord to just like link up, so that way when you become a member, you get that as well. But in terms of the content, I should be able to have it for the main eventers very soon. So stay on the lookout for that. That's going to be really cool. There's 3 tiers. There is the main eventer. What else? We got the hey, where is it? 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 The job squad is $1.99. Stuck in the mid card is $4.99, and the main eventer is $9.99. So that'll be really cool. Thank you, Tay again for becoming a member. Durante. Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. I apologize. Whoop that trick. Oh yeah. Trick dude is great, man. Like, it's actually really dope seeing him on NXT. The Performance Center was going crazy. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes is huge. What a feud this has become, right? Like, that's how I'm looking at it. It's a fire-ass feud, dude. A lot of people are cooking in NXT with Trick Williams, another guy from NXT 2.0, clearly going to be a massive star on the main roster. He's going to be so fucking big on the main roster. It's going to be so delightful. And obviously, as a person who covered NXT 2.0, like, I personally am excited about that, because watching NXT 2.0 and then watching some of these people actually go far in WWE or go into the main roster, it's just a beautiful thing to see. Whether you like Solo Sikoa, he's from NXT 2.0, Grayson Waller from 2.0, right? Like, you're seeing some people from 2.0 carry over. Indy Hartwell was another one, right? And like, they're all doing stuff on WWE television. That's just really dope, in my opinion. That's just really dope. I'm just being honest. I look forward to that. Honestly, I genuinely do. And I think one of the cool things too is with NXT, like for tonight, for example, um, we are watching NXT, and there's a lot of stuff happening with NXT. But I think what's really cool about NXT is nothing is actually being rushed. So if you look at NXT the same way as the main roster, there's a lot of long-term stories. Perfect example of this. Mike just brought it up, about Andre Chase and his gambling addiction. I don't think the door is closed on this, right? Andre Chase, he's still looking like shit. Like, even though Chase University technically was saved from like bankruptcy or whatever you want to call it, Andre Chase is pretty much in a spot where like his collar's still fucked up and like he's not well put together anymore. The gambling addiction never went away. And I think that's going to play more into the story. Obviously, NXT was telling a little bit more of a story with JC Jane tonight. Andre Chase letting them all down again, right? Like, that's kind of how you got to look at it. So NXT is just like the main roster. A lot of small details happen and they're not forgotten about. I appreciate that so much with WWE in 2024. I really do. I love when pro wrestling has things that 7 months ago, 8 months ago, it happens and it's a small detail and you may have forgot about it. And then it ends up coming to fruition in some case in point. And we saw that again. I mentioned it earlier with Sol Ruka. She is the reason why Fallon Henley beat Blair Davenport. And I would have never, ever, ever, ever been cool with the idea of I would have never been cool with NXT. NXT. I would have never been cool with Blair Davenport getting a loss in NXT, But at the same time, too, it's been really dope to see Blair Davenport lose, but there's something there historically that cost her the win, and that makes sense, right? Like, there's logic there, and I appreciate that. And there's somebody else in the chat with my fucking name. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? You are not the real Ingo. Mike also says, I hated Soul's first vignettes, but since seeing her in the ring, damn, she is good. Yeah, she's good. She's great, to be honest. Once I seen her in the ring, because here's the thing, you got to remember too. Sol Ruka kind of suffered the same fate as like a lot of other people in WWE NXT 2.0. It's like you're given like this really weird, like gimmicky, overly gimmicky type of thing. And or you get this over gimmicky character, and then you got to make it work. And Sol Ruka is the definition of somebody who's like, I think she's just a laid back surfer girl, whatever, but she's like a fantastic wrestler, right? Now her gimmick is almost like kind of like her and her talent kind of is more valued than the gimmick itself. Um, it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out long term and how they go about it. But Sol Ruka, talented. I didn't expect to see her tonight. I didn't expect to see her tonight. That's for sure. I definitely didn't expect that. Let's see. Does Hammer beat Josh? That has nothing to do with the stream, brother. That has nothing to do with the stream. But since you're asking me, yeah. I think they're gonna have a trilogy. Thoughts on Andrade dropping El Idolo? Well, he didn't technically drop El Idolo. Andrade on Raw was sick though. That was one of the things I wish I could have gone live yesterday. Andrade was super dope. His entrance music and everything is fire on Raw. He's great. Just like in general, I'm happy with him being on there. And yeah. I feel like Andrade is going to be really good in WWE. David says, Ango, do you see Sean Spears holding NXT gold? Yeah, I do. I do. I don't know what it's going to be. I know next week Obafemi versus Briggs. Not Briggs. Brooks Jensen. Brooks Jensen. Brooks. You know, he's got the old school gimmick now. Obafemi is he's dope. So I think Obafemi will retain. I don't know if Sean Spears gets gold right away, but I would love to see Sean Spears get gold at some point as a big FU to Vince McMahon and Tony Khan, because both of them didn't know what to do with this man. He's good. He's good. He's very, very good. Which roster will Melo go to, in your opinion? I mean, seriously, I would say SmackDown because he's been on SmackDown, but also at the same time, too, you got to keep in mind that Braun Breaker just got there. So I don't know. SmackDown's been getting a lot of pickups. I think Carmelo Hayes will be good on both, but who knows, man? You know what's amazing is it would have been a lot better if Trick Williams and Carmelo actually got called up as a tag team to the main roster, then told the story on the main roster. I don't know. That's crazy, but I love Carmelo Hayes. I love Trick Williams. That's becoming a very fun story. What did you think of Sammy Guevara getting suspended? I made a video on that today. Check it out. Why do you think they're not pushing Gigi? She lost to Izzy Dame out of everyone, and also I don't think she won a match this year. I think there's a lot more to be said about Gigi Dolan. That's how I kind of look at it. I think there's just a story being told, and wait and see. Gotta wait and see what happens with her, man. You know, obviously going the solo route wasn't that great. I can see her also leaving NXT when I can see her leaving NXT when her contract's up. But I think she's great. I think she should stick around. I just think right now she's not getting this big push, but there's a storyline going around with Ariana Grande. That's funny. Ariana Grace. And we'll see that story develop. I think Ariana Grace beats her. She's going to cheat, and then Ariana Grace is going to just do some very funny segments with Gigi Dolan, and they're going to leave it at that. But Gigi Dolan's a perfect example of why they need to have like a mid-card women's title, right? If there's the North American Championship for the men, they should do something for the women, because there's a lot of women in NXT who could benefit from that. Wow. Melo would end up at WWE main event. Yeah, see, Alex, I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd have to disagree because he is the reality is that he was getting great reactions on SmackDown. So that's how I look at it. He was getting good reactions on SmackDown. So at the end of the day, I look at it as like it's a good thing. It's gonna be and yeah. It's gonna be like what they did with Tiffany being a stable girl for a day, exactly. And I'm cool with that content. That stuff is funny. Fallon Henley, Tiffany Stratton, and let's some cool stuff. Ariana Grace and Gigi Dolan will be great too. And maybe it actually leads to her getting repackaged. I don't know. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. But it's so funny. I just seen something pop up with WWE 2K24. I'm getting so jealous of everybody with WWE 2K24, bro. I'm getting so jealous because some of these people are not in WWE 2K24. And like for me, one of the big things I want to do with 2K24 is just universe mode, where like I'm actually booking like the shows based on how I would actually book. So when I get WWE 2K24, if they're not in the game, I'm gonna put them in the game. I'm gonna book them. I'm gonna have like the coolest fucking universe mode in the world. I don't know. Whenever I get the game, we'll figure it out. But definitely want that shit because like Gigi Dolan and Tiffany Stratton and all these people, like I'm gonna do some cool ass booking in there. Dragon Lee is gonna be in the game at some point. Obviously Post Malone's gonna be in the game. It just looks really dope. That's all. That's all I'm kind of saying it. But if you guys couldn't tell, I have been yawning, and that's just not respectful. That's just not respectful. But I bring that up because I've had a very long day. My workouts have been pretty insane, but my diet has been also really great too. And I try to get a little bit earlier sleep now too as well. So it is what it is. But today was a great day. I don't like this. I don't like when I'm yawning when I'm on stream. So ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna call it a night. Probably not going to be doing the vertical streams too much. But I should be live tomorrow for Dynamite post show. And then also whenever I do get WWE 2K24, we'll figure it out. Because we'll be live with that. So I appreciate you guys as always spending your time with me. Thank you all very much. And yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely gonna do call-ins again soon. But yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I will see you all next time. Peace.